human clown. If you ask me if I ever believed in urban stories, then I would have told you no. They are just stories being told around a campfire to scare the kids so they would not wander off during the night, or to keep the children under control when they misbehave. You know, we have all done it when the kids wind us up. With my story, this is something I thought would never happen to me. I mean, come on, who would believe such a thing as a human clown hiding in a child's bedroom buying their time until they can come and get you for whatever reason? It just sounds like a plot from a horror story. Well, so I thought. So to tell my story, I must go back to when I was a teenager. During the week I would hang out with my friends and window shop at the mall, while at weekends I would go to the beach with my family. I delighted in the barbecue, the delicious taste of smoked barbecue burgers and the taste of hot dogs with the trimmings. I enjoyed the games more. I loved the game of volleyball against my siblings. Who doesn't want to beat their brothers at a game? One weekend on the summer holidays we met up with one of my mother's oldest friend. After overhearing her talk to my mother about needing a babysitter, I had an idea. I knew I needed money for the rest of summer and perhaps after in the school term. I confidently went up to my mother's friend and asked if she would mind me helping her out with me babysitting for her. I was delighted when she did agree. So 2 days later I found myself having to dress sensibly and walking around to my mother's house to start my new job. When my mother friend opened the door, she must be going for a night out, I told myself, as she was well dressed on a long tight black dress with her hair waverly tied back. "Come in," she said to me as I gazed upon the marble surrounding the front door. My mouth dropped as I set foot into the foyer. It was like setting foot into a grand hotel, and so modern as well. "Come with me," she said. We went a spiral staircase and reached the second floor. "This is the twins' room," as she gazed at me while opening the door. I looked inside. The room seems to be double the size of mine. I was in awe but jealous too. She took me to a second room. This time without a glance she opened the door and told me, "This is the youngest room." I looked inside, but the room didn't seem to be as big as the other, but still a decent size. Mine, who needs a room as big as the other when there is only one person sleeping there, I thought. After the tour upstairs she took me downstairs and showed me around. The usual rooms could be found just a little larger: living, kitchen and entertaining room. Last of all we went outside to the back, where there was a beautiful pool with several fun slides and a waterfall made from a rockery. I couldn't believe a place like this could ever exist. After the tour, when went into the room, "Can I get you a drink?" she asked as I sat down. "A Coke would be great, thank you," I told her. After she came back with my Coke, she sat down and told me there is rules that I must put in place. First of all, emergency numbers can be found on the fridge, including mine and my husband's. So looking at her, I listening to her demands, they were the usual things such as don't let the kids swim after they had a bite to eat, make the kids clean up after themselves, the children have to be in bed by 7 p.m. at the latest, and they are only allowed one friend over, only if they are good and behave themselves, but how I spend my time with them is up to me, whether I want to play games with them or let them play computer games in their room. "Is there anything you would like to ask me?" she said. "Yes," I replied, thinking back to the pool. "Would it be okay if I could bring over a friend who could help me maybe?" She took a short pause to think about it and replied, "Yes you can, but I must advise that you only bring over one friend. I would also like to have no boys in my house." So after listening to her, I happily agreed. Half an hour later, while she continued to get her stuff together, she left with her husband in a silver Bentley. After she had left, I got straight on to the phone to my oldest and dearest friend. "Grab your swimsuit and come over," I told her. An hour later I was startled by a knock on the door as I was watching a horror movie. I cautiously got up and checked the CCTV system. I was very relieved as I saw it was my oldest friend. I borrowed a bathing suit from the woman as she was in my size, and I thought you wouldn't mind either. We both sat around the pool talking about the usual, boys, clothes. We then got the kids and had some fun splashing around in the pool and playing games. While in the house I looked at the clock, 1800 hours it read. Boy, how time flies, I thought to myself. I then called the kids in along with my friend. I proceeded to make them dinner. The kids was so well behaved. They cleaned themselves up and set the table without even asking or me telling them to. After they ate dinner, I let them watch some cartoon for the next half hour. 7 came around so fast as I looked back at the clock again. I gave my friend a look and she knew what I was going to do. Right, all of you, it is bedtime, I told them. They all got up and proceeded to the stairs and went up to their rooms. The twins was easy to get off to bed as they was the oldest, however the little girl was harder as I had to read her a story as she would not go to sleep without one. While reading her favorite storybook, I could not help but notice a human-sized doll. It sent chills down my spine as it looked like a clown, and I hated clowns. I could not stand the sight of them. The little girl kept tugging me as I gazed at the clown to continue with the story. I could not get away from its gaze as its eyes seemed to follow me. I could not take any more of this clown and decided to put a blanket over its head. I did feel a little better but was still wary as I know it was still there. After I read the book, I gave the little girl a kiss on the forehead and went back downstairs to my friend. Seeing my friend on the settee, she was watching her favorite show, X on the Beach. How on earth could someone watch that rubbish, I thought to myself. I decided to keep her happy and watch the show with her. The show was halfway in as I heard a band. Me and my friend looked at each other. Don't worry, it's probs one of the kids, she told me. I decided to go upstairs and check on the kids as they had to be in bed right now and not out doing whatever they wanted. I reached the twins' room and expected them to be out of bed playing around, but to my surprise they were both asleep. I then went to the little girl's room to check on her, but yet again it seems the girl was asleep until I saw the clown doll was actually on the floor next to the girl's bedroom. I must admit, it did give me shivers, but I just thought to myself that the girl wanted him in bed with her and not wanting to be in trouble got back into bed. Not wanting to scold her, I decided we all sleep with teddies and dolls, and so would have been natural for someone of her age. I then went back downstairs to join my friend who was now watching Love Island. Great, I thought to myself, as that is another program I hated with a passion. I went to the kitchen and got 2 bowls out of the bottom cupboard and filled them with chocolate ice cream. 10 minutes while eating our ice cream, we heard the bang again. So once more I went up the stairs and checked up on the children. The twins was still asleep and nothing disarray in their room. Again I then proceeded to the little girl's room and again nothing amiss, but I did notice that the clown was now sitting in the chair behind her bed. Not taking it anymore, I decided to call the kid's mother. I dialed the number with anticipation as I didn't know what she would say. The phone rang 4 times before she picked up. Hello, I said, there is a clown in your daughter's room that I cannot look at anymore. Do you mind if I move it into a spare room until tomorrow or when you get back, I asked. What she told me next had shivers traveling down my spine. I could not believe what she had just told me. I hung up the phone and ran back down to my best friend. She saw the look on my face as I had went white as a ghost. Whatever is the matter, she asked me. I explained to her that I had rang up the mother and asked her if I could move the clown out of the little girl's bedroom as it was scaring me. I also explained that the mother told me that they don't have a clown and that I must get the kids ASAP and go round to the next door neighbors and call the police imminently. I could see all the blood drain from her face. You grab the twins and I will get the little girl, I told her as we both ran upstairs. The friend continued to collect the twins while I stood outside the little girl's room with my heart now in my throat. Although I was only standing there for a few seconds, I did feel like hours had gone past. Thought ran through my mind. What if he grabbed me or the little girl, I thought. What if I had to fight him? Putting the thoughts to the back of my mind, I cautiously proceeded into her room. I continuously watched the clown as I woke up the little girl and told her to come with me. I met up with my friend at the bottom of the stairs. She still had the ghostly look on her face. I could tell she was panicking but trying to hide it for the sake of the children. I grabbed the keys of the side table and quickly but with a struggle unlocked the front door. As quick as we could we ran towards the neighbor's house, all while checking behind us, making sure this imposter was not following us. It seemed like a lifetime to get round to the neighbors. They only lived a few yards next door too. Out of breath I banged on the door waiting for them to open. A sweet old lady opened the door, seeing the pale on our faces and the kids in our arms. "What on earth is wrong?" she asked as we stood there breathless. "I am babysitting next door and there is a man dressed in a clown outfit in the little girl's room," I told her, trying to catch a breath. She looked at me, my friend and the kids and rushed all into her house. It was the kind of house you would expect for someone of her age. Photos of all her kids and grandkids, antique furniture everywhere. She struggled to the phone and called up the police. I was hoping for a quick response as I did not this perpetrator to show up at the house and hurt this little old lady. The police showed up pretty fast and in numbers. There must have been the whole station that showed up. 5 cars pulled up to the house and surrounded the house while 2 others came to this house. We met up with him outside the house. We started to tell him the whole story while he calmed us down. A few moments later the police inside the house came out with a clown in handcuffs. The policeman in front of me told me that we are all safe now and if we wanted to, we could wait in the car. The old lady however stated that we could wait with her while the parents was on their way home. An hour passed and the parents show up with police still in their garden. One of the officers pointed her in our direction while her husband talked to the cop. She came over to the house and gave all the kids a huge hug. The way she hugged them seemed that she had not seen them in some time. She thanked me for calling her in time and saving her children. Another hour later and a nice policeman drove me and my friend back to my house. Back at my house I decided to tell my parents what had happened at the house. They was in shock as was I. They could not believe what had happened. They both took hold of me and hugged me so hard I could not breathe. "Easy," I told them as I gasped for air from their grips. The next day while eating breakfast, we watched the morning news channel to see if there was anything about this clown. It seemed that there was. The clown was an escaped convict from a mental institute in the next town. He had broken out and wanted to continue with his life of crime, murdering people. I was really happy that day that I contacted the kid's mother. If I had not, then things could be very different right now. This all brings a lesson. If you see something that you are not sure about, even at someone else's house, then don't be afraid to confront them about it. It could one day save your life.